It's all of them. You understand that, right? Let me repeat that. It's all of them. No matter how good their narrative or their rhetoric that they are saying, that you think they actually care about you. And there's different levels of compromise for sure. There's some people who are more compromised than others, but at the root, anybody on the world stage is allowed to be there by the prince of the power of the air. And now I get it. Yes, God is ultimately sovereign, but he allows this to play out for how it's going right now. He's going to come back and rule and reign and destroy all evil. But for this time right now, this world system is under the sway of the wicked one. And those who are in powers that be, who make decisions, are compromised at some level. And also, not to mention, and it's painful that we have to explain this, but the amount of psychopaths that rise to the top is statistically terrifying. It's a statistical fact that psychopaths are more likely to succeed and rise to the top as CEOs, as presidents, whatever, because they don't care about stepping on other people to get there. People with morals, people with compassion, people with the heart of God can't get to a point because they have integrity. Integrity stops an individual at a certain point. You get capped. But to then succeed in this world system, to get to that point, you have to compromise. So it's all of them at a certain point. And now I want to be careful to not generalize, to pass judgment, because I'm not God, clearly. I don't know the individual's hearts. I don't know each person who has power in their heart. But a general rule of thumb, it's all of them at some point, some type of compromise. So, with that, please do not put your trust in these people. Do not take their words at face value. Take everything with a huge grain of salt, understanding the political theater, understanding the manipulation, the corruption, and the principalities behind it all. It's something that God has shown me through my walk with the Lord, that you got to take a step back to look at the bigger picture, to see, to have a better vantage point. When you're in it and you're looking here, you only see so much. But if you take that bigger step back and you can, take a grander view, it starts to make sense. Like a puzzle. If you focus in on a puzzle, you only see a few puzzle pieces. You don't know what that bigger picture is. But if you take a step back, look at the full, context. Oh, that's what that puzzle is, and that's exactly what's going on right now with this warfare. And the tactics of the enemy is for you to focus or fixate on specific details or something. And that's why these theories and these rabbit holes are so enticing that the enemy likes to put out there, because it gets people trapped in these little rabbit holes, even if they're true. And that's why they allow some truth and some of this controlled op out there, so then people trust these individuals because they say some truth. But then it's that rat poison where 90% truth, 10% lies, 95% truth, 5% lies. It's the 5% of the lie that actually is poison, and that will completely lead you astray. And that's exactly what's going on right now. So take a step back, look at the bigger picture. And now, what's the bigger picture? We are in a spiritual war. I think if we understood fully the cosmic battle that we are in for our souls, it will make more sense with this political system, the theater, the just complete manipulation. So then you can kind of just take a step back and go, you know what? This is this is spiritual. It's all spiritual at the root. We do not wrestle with flesh and blood, but against principalities in the heavenly realm. And that's why we have to have the full armor of God on to stand against the schemes of the enemy. That's why Paul tells us to have the belt of truth, the chest plate of righteousness, the boots of peace, the shield of faith, the sword of the word of God, which is the sword, and then your helmet of salvation. So we want to be able to stand with that full armor of God against the schemes of the enemy. Do not get enticed into this world system. I repeat that a lot here on this channel, but that's something the Lord has placed on me. I get it a hit from both sides. People thinking I'm, a leftist Democrat or whatever, because I talk about the Golden Dawn administration and the false light. But do not misinterpret that. The left is just as evil, if not more evil, clearly, with things that they believe. It's all just demonic, in my opinion. Just different wings of the same demonic bird. This system of enslavement and control. It's a false dichotomy of trying to force you to pick one side and whatever. We stand for truth, we stand for righteousness, we stand with the Lord, and we look unto him above all things, understanding that you are a pilgrim down here and that you seek him for all wisdom, understanding. That's why I really feel it's really important that we are as wise as a serpent, but innocent and gentle as a dove, loving others with compassion, understanding, but not being gullible and deceived, which is, again, just part of this walk. So, with that all being said, it's all of them, in my opinion, some type of compromise to get to a certain point. So, do not trust these politicians blindly. You're not going to vote your way out of this. The way that we do it is bringing the kingdom to them, and I don't mean that in a NAR type of, you know, all millennialist type of fashion. I mean bringing the kingdom of love, of grace, of mercy, and humility with your actions, being salt and light down here to them, being a peacemaker, bringing that to people of this world, not being part of this political system. Love you all so much. All right, God bless. Remember, the just shall live by faith.